Have you ever felt surrounded by people, yet still profoundly alone? Do you ever wonder why some souls effortlessly collect friends, while others drift through life with only a handful, or none at all? And what if your quiet, solitary path isn't a flaw, but a mark of something deeper and more meaningful? Let's open today's journey with an uncomfortable truth. True friendships, like diamonds, are rare. Not because we don't try, but because the world often offers us imitations. Many have mistaken convenience or mutual need for friendship, only to discover the fragile illusion when hardship strikes. We're left questioning, is it us, or is it the nature of modern connection? In a world teeming with social media, friends, group chats and networking events, why does loneliness persist? Today we explore what it truly means to navigate life with few or no friends, and how Stoic wisdom can illuminate a path forward. From the art of embracing one's introversion, to the challenge of trust, and the scarcity of genuine social opportunities, we'll dive into the roots of isolation and uncover practical, ancient tools to help you cultivate meaningful, lasting friendships. Let's begin. A Stoic once compared friendships to diamonds, precious and elusive. True friends are not found in abundance, but rather unearthed through time, patience, and reflection. After a few stinging betrayals, we start to question if real friendship even exists. Are we simply collecting illusions dressed up as connection? Another voice echoed this thought, calling true friends treasures. Rare, yes, but incredibly valuable. But what happens when you find yourself alone more often than not? When the world feels like it's spinning in a whirl of social energy, and yet you stand outside the circle? Is it a personal failing or something deeper? The truth is, lacking friends does not mean you are broken. In fact, it might mean you're waiting to find something genuine. Let's explore the nature of friendship through a Stoic lens. Stoicism reminds us that our worth is not determined by the number of people who surround us, but by the quality of our inner life and the truth of our relationships. Just as a sculptor carves stone to reveal a hidden masterpiece, you too can craft deeper connections, ones that endure. Let's begin with a common struggle: shyness and introversion. Human beings are wired to be social creatures, but for many the social maze feels like it's missing critical pieces. Shyness can make the idea of mingling daunting. Introversion can leave you drained in noisy crowds. But what if these weren't weaknesses? Stoicism teaches us to turn so-called weaknesses into strengths. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example, who said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." Your introversion isn't a limitation. It's a quiet kind of power. When you stop trying to fix yourself and instead embrace who you are, the chains of self-doubt begin to loosen. Picture this. You're at a gathering, heart racing, unsure what to say. Stoic wisdom guides us to focus only on what's in our control: our actions, our words, and our intentions. You don't need to impress. You need only to express, speak, to be understood, not to be praised. This change in perspective can turn pressure into presence and make space for real connection. Friendship isn't a prize to win. It's a garden to tend. You don't need to walk away from every encounter with a new companion. Sometimes, planting a single seed, a shared laugh, a thoughtful question, is enough. Seneca urged us to view life as a journey, and each social interaction as a step along that path. Be authentic. It's that simple. When you show up as your real self, you allow others to do the same. Every person you meet isn't just a potential friend. They are a mirror, reflecting something you can learn or appreciate. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be popular. It asks us to be true. Now let's talk about trust. One of the greatest obstacles to friendship is the fear of betrayal. Navigating friendships with trust issues can feel like walking a tightrope. It's hard to open up. When you fear being hurt, but trust isn't handed out like free samples. It's built brick by brick. Start with self-understanding. Know your fears, your values, your limits. If you understand yourself, you're less likely to be knocked off balance when others behave unpredictably. Like a tree with deep roots, self-awareness keeps you grounded, even when the winds of disappointment blow strong. People change. That's a fact. Someone who seems reliable today may disappoint you tomorrow. Stoicism doesn't tell us to shut ourselves off, but to be ready. Don't be shocked when perfection doesn't exist. That doesn't mean you become cynical. It means you prepare, adapt, and respond with wisdom. If someone breaks your trust, see it as a lesson. Water, though soft, can wear down stone. Be like water, fluid, adaptable, yet unwavering in your nature. Let open and honest communication be your tool. When in doubt, speak your truth. Light dispels darkness. Talking about your concerns can lead to clarity and closeness. And when someone brings their honesty to you, listen. A true conversation is a dance of give and take. It's not about speaking the most, but about creating a rhythm of understanding. This is how trust is built, not with grand gestures, but with small, honest exchanges repeated over time. Finally, we confront a quieter enemy: lack of opportunity. Many people don't lack the capacity for friendship. They lack the conditions. Between work, obligations, and the lure of digital life, genuine moments for connection are rare. But this isn't a dead end, it's a detour. So what can we do when our lives feel too busy, too disconnected, or too barren of real chances to bond? In the next part, we'll explore how modern life silently limits our opportunities for friendship and the Stoic-inspired steps we can take to open the door once more. Previously, we explored how Stoic wisdom can help us understand the nature of loneliness and friendship, from embracing introversion to rebuilding trust. We discovered that friendships, like gems, are not measured by quantity, but by depth. Now we continue this journey by examining how the modern world affects our opportunities for connection and what we can do to cultivate authentic relationships, even in the face of social hurdles and changing priorities. In today's world, where our phones light up with constant notifications, something deeper remains unanswered. Despite the buzzing of screens and endless online conversations, many hearts still yearn for something more: real, face-to-face human connection. It's not about being seen in a story or tagged in a post. It's about feeling known and understood. Imagine this. You decide to volunteer in your community. Maybe you're planting trees in a local park, handing out meals at a shelter, or simply helping organize books at the public library. These actions might seem small on the surface, but each shared task becomes a thread in a much larger social tapestry. As you contribute to the greater good, you naturally find others on the same path. Stoicism encourages service not just for virtue's sake, but because through such acts we find companionship in shared purpose. And yet, it's not just physical service that opens doors, it's shared interests and learning too. Picture walking into a room full of people who speak the language of your passion. Whether it's photography, technology, philosophy, or music, joining a workshop or seminar is more than just a bullet point on your resume. It's where conversation flows effortlessly and connections form without effort or pretense. These aren't just contacts. They're kindred spirits, your potential tribe, where curiosity meets camaraderie. Now let's step outdoors into the rhythm of nature. Hiking up a mountain trail, joining a group yoga session in the park, or biking with strangers who soon become friends. These aren't merely physical activities. They're social experiences, stripped of formalities, where connections bloom like wildflowers. In these serene settings, people let their guards down, Eye contact replaces screens, laughter flows, words feel lighter, truer. And here's a gentle reminder, don't rush these moments. Practice gratitude for the breeze on your face, the earth beneath your feet, and the people who walk beside you, even if just for a moment. Friendship, in the Stoic view, doesn't require grand declarations. It requires presence, sincerity. A shared experience, however brief, can leave a lasting imprint on your soul. Let's now address something often overlooked: social skills. Friendships don't appear like magic, they require effort. In today's fast-paced world, where everything is expected instantly, we sometimes forget that human connection needs patience, practice, and intention. Social skills are like seeds. You plant them by initiating a chat in a cafe, joining a community class, or engaging online in spaces where your interests are shared. These aren't just idle activities. They're foundational steps toward growing confidence in social spaces. Each small action, though it may feel awkward at first, waters the roots of interpersonal connection. One essential element in this journey is the art of listening. True listening, intentional, empathetic, curious, is rare, but it's powerful. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, being the person who truly hears is extraordinary. Ask not to respond, but to understand. Show real interest in others' stories, their triumphs and their troubles. This subtle shift from "look at me" to "tell me more" creates safe spaces where real friendships can flourish. Also accept the ebb and flow of social encounters. Not every conversation will end with exchanged numbers or deep bonds, and that's okay. Some moments fizzle out, and that doesn't mean you failed, it means you practiced. Like a Stoic warrior returning from battle, each attempt, whether fruitful or not, prepares you for the next with more grace and less fear. Your worth, remember, isn't tied to how many people flock around you. It's reflected in how you nurture the few who matter. One true friend who understands your silence is better than 100 who only notice your smile. Now we arrive at a poignant reality: changing circumstances. Sometimes the absence of friends isn't because of something you did or didn't do, it's simply life. Think of the classic tale of the boy and the apple tree. In childhood, the boy plays with the tree, enjoys its shade, its fruit, and its branches. The tree represents unconditional friendship, always there, always giving. But as the boy grows older, his focus shifts. He becomes consumed by life's demands, money, success, independence, and slowly forgets the tree that once brought him joy. Many of us are that boy. Our youthful friendships, once central to our world, fade into the background as careers, obligations, and ambitions take over. We return only when we need something: support during hardship, comfort during grief. By then, sometimes it's too late, or the connection has withered from neglect. This doesn't make us bad people. It makes us human. But the lesson remains: don't wait until you need someone to remember they matter. Rebuilding friendship is like tending a forgotten garden. You don't need grand gestures, just consistent, intentional care. A simple message, a shared memory, a moment of presence. That's where healing begins. Be the one who reaches out first. Be there not only in joy, but in sorrow. Be the tree, but also remember to visit the tree. Friendship requires effort from both sides. Stoicism reminds us to value what truly matters. And people, real connections, matter more than we often realize. Lastly, consider how shifting priorities affect your social world. As we evolve professionally, intellectually, emotionally, our friendships can either deepen or dissolve. The Stoics understood this well. Life is not static, it flows. And as we pursue growth, our circles change. Sometimes we outgrow certain connections, not from malice, but from movement. The friend who once understood you deeply might now walk a different path. That's not a betrayal, it's nature. It's change. Yet this change offers opportunity. It invites us to seek out new connections that align with who we are becoming. Just as a tree grows new branches, we too grow new relationships, rooted in current truths, not past versions of ourselves. So as life continues to shift and we evolve into new roles and rhythms, how can we remain grounded in meaningful connection? On the next page, we'll explore how Stoicism helps us adapt to changing relationships and how to gracefully let go or welcome new bonds without losing ourselves along the way. As we move forward from the last section, we reflect on how evolving priorities can quietly reshape the landscape of our relationships. Friends may drift, new ones may appear, and all the while, life continues its relentless forward motion. It's not about lamenting what changes, but learning how to adapt with grace, using the timeless insights of Stoic philosophy. Now let's explore how the rhythm of life itself, career, mental well-being, and lifestyle, shapes our ability to connect, and how we can mindfully create space for deeper, lasting friendships. Picture your life as a river, sometimes rushing, sometimes calm, always flowing. One moment you're navigating the intense rapids of career advancement, the next you're gliding through the still waters of family life. In these currents, time for friendships can shrink or swell. This isn't a personal failure, it's the natural ebb and flow of a fully lived life. The Stoics knew this well. They didn't preach detachment from human connection, but rather, they offered guidance for navigating shifting tides with intention. When your calendar is bursting with meetings, deadlines, or family obligations, it's tempting to maintain a large circle of acquaintances. But quality, not quantity, is what sustains the soul. Stoicism urges us to focus our energy where it truly matters. You're not cutting people out. You're choosing to invest your limited time into a few deep, authentic connections. This honors not just your time, but theirs as well. Relationships built on intention and mutual respect are the ones that weather storms and shine in the sunlight. And when life demands more of you, it's not a sign that you're becoming less social. It simply means that your relationships must evolve alongside you. Some friends will naturally fade into the background. Others will surprise you by staying or even stepping in as your new priorities open different doors. Embrace this journey with wisdom. Know that each soul who enters your life, whether for a fleeting season or a lifetime, weaves a thread into your story. Be present. Whether your time is limited or abundant, make your interactions real. A single heartfelt conversation can outshine hours of surface chatter. Let the teachings of Stoicism guide you. Meaningful friendships aren't about duration, they're about depth. Now let's turn inward to something often neglected, our mental well-being. In the quiet architecture of connection, mental health is the cornerstone. It's not just about having a positive mindset, it's about being honest with ourselves about the storms we weather within. Stoicism, though born in ancient forums, has modern relevance. It's not about masking your pain or pretending all is well. It's about understanding your emotional landscape so you can navigate it, not be consumed by it. Imagine trying to build friendships while carrying unseen burdens, anxiety, depression, burnout. It's like walking through a maze blindfolded. You may keep bumping into walls, unsure where the exits or the allies are, but there's light, even in that maze. Stoic wisdom offers a torch, not to erase the darkness, but to help you find your path through it. As George Carlin once observed, cynicism often hides a wounded idealist. Many who retreat from social life aren't disinterested. They're simply exhausted, disappointed, or overwhelmed. So let's get practical. Stoicism isn't just about quoting Marcus Aurelius. It's about action. Begin with mindfulness. Not a buzzword, but a daily choice to be present. In a distracted world, your full attention is rare and powerful. Being fully present in a conversation is a gift, a signal that says, you matter. That's the true currency of friendship. Next, consider meditation, not just for monks or yogis, but for anyone navigating modern life. 10 minutes a day can quiet the mind, restore clarity and ground you. And when your mind is calm, your heart is open. Others feel that. They gravitate toward it. You become not just a friend, but a safe harbor. Tranquility isn't some luxurious escape. It's the solid center you cultivate amid the chaos. So it's the calm within that makes you a steady presence for others. Life will storm, no doubt, but if you've anchored yourself through Stoic practice, reflection, mindfulness, emotional regulation, you won't be swept away. This is not about becoming cold or distant. It's about responding to emotion with awareness, not reaction. When you achieve that, you radiate calm, and people are drawn to that calm. It makes them feel safe, valued, understood. You become the kind of person people want to connect with, not for what you do, but for how you make them feel. Through nurturing your own mental state, you plant the seeds for meaningful connection. When you're whole within, you create space for others to step into your life and feel at home there. Let's now explore another crucial dimension: lifestyle choices. The pace of life can blur our priorities. Picture yourself hustling through your days, checking off tasks, answering emails, juggling commitments, only to find the seat across the table empty at dinner. Busyness isn't the problem. Priorities are. Stoicism invites us to examine how we spend our days. Are your hours filled with what truly matters, or are they consumed by things that pull you away from yourself and others? It takes courage to say no to things that waste your time or sap your energy. But in doing so, you create space for what truly feeds your spirit. Think of yourself as a sculptor. Your day is the raw marble. Each decision, each activity is a chisel stroke. Will you carve a life of frantic obligation or one of balanced fulfillment? It's not about cramming in more, but about being intentional with what stays. Maybe you only have 1 hour this week for social connection. Make it count. Choose people who align with your values, who leave you feeling uplifted. Every interaction should be a well-placed tile in the mosaic of your life. Not random clutter, but meaningful design. Balance isn't just about splitting time equally. It's about alignment. What brings you closer to your best self? What activities, relationships, and routines nourish your spirit? When you focus on these questions, your life begins to form a harmonious pattern, one that reflects not only productivity, but also joy, connection, and purpose. Picture that mosaic again. Work, hobbies, rest, friendships, each one has a role to play. The beauty lies not in perfection, but in presence, in the gentle art of arranging your priorities so that your life doesn't just look full, it feels full. So as you refine the sculpture of your life and quiet the inner storms, one final piece remains. How do we bring it all together? Our shifting roles, our inner growth, our desire for genuine connection, into a sustainable practice of friendship. In the next section, we'll explore the Stoic rituals and daily habits that build enduring, soul-nourishing relationships in an ever-changing world. As we continue our journey through the Stoic lens of friendship, we now arrive at one of the most nuanced and often misunderstood aspects of human connection: differences in interests. While the previous sections helped us understand how to ground ourselves amidst shifting priorities, nurture mental well-being, and structure our lives with intention, this next chapter invites us to open our minds to others, not because they are the same, but precisely because they are different. Imagine your life as a great orchestra. Each individual in your life represents a different instrument, each with its own rhythm, tone, and melody. Now consider your own interests as a musical note. When you interact with others who have differing interests, it might feel like you're clashing, like a cello and a saxophone in the same room. But Stoicism gently reminds us that these aren't jarring disruptions. They're opportunities for symphony. Dissonance, when embraced, often leads to the most beautiful harmonies. It's easy to remain within the echo chambers of our own interests. If you love rock music and your colleague prefers classical, there's clearly a gap. But within that gap lies a bridge waiting to be built. The Stoic mindset nudges us away from judgment and toward exploration. Find the harmony in discord, it whispers. Differences do not have to be divisions, they can be invitations. When we only surround ourselves with people who mirror our tastes, we risk crafting a limited version of life. We build bubbles, safe, familiar, comfortable, but ultimately small. These bubbles shrink our perspectives and inadvertently narrow our opportunities for friendship. By choosing to open ourselves to those who bring something unfamiliar to the table, we not only learn, we expand. Our circles become richer, our minds more flexible, and our relationships more dynamic. Let's imagine a simple moment. You're a die-hard gamer. Your neighbor, a passionate gardener. Your first instinct might be to smile politely and steer the conversation elsewhere. But what if, just for a moment, you leaned in? What if you asked about their favorite plant or the story behind their garden's layout? You're not pretending to love gardening. You're showing interest in what lights them up. And in doing so, you're saying, I see you. That kind of attention is magnetic. When someone feels seen, they become more open to seeing you too. Maybe they've never picked up a controller in their life, but now they're asking what kind of games you play. A seed of curiosity is planted, and curiosity, mutual and sincere, is powerful glue. Beneath every passion, gardening, gaming, music, books, lie shared human emotions, enthusiasm, dedication, joy. When you shift your focus from the object of the interest to the feeling it evokes, you find common ground. That's where Stoicism directs our attention, not to the surface but to the roots. This is the essence of Stoic connection. It's not about building relationships based on hobbies or preferences, but on values and emotional resonance. You and someone else might have wildly different lifestyles, but if you both value growth, perseverance, or kindness, you already share a profound commonality. Stoicism becomes your compass, helping you recognize not what's different but what's universal. Now imagine a world shaped by this mindset. A sports enthusiast and a bookworm, a coder and a cook, an artist and an accountant, all finding connection not through sameness, but through shared spirit, through mutual respect, through an open-hearted willingness to step into each other's worlds. That's not just friendship, that's transformation. The Stoic way encourages us to lead with openness, to enter conversations not looking for mirrors but for doorways. When we begin from a place of curiosity rather than comparison, our friendships become layered and textured. We grow. We evolve together. And remember, the richness of friendship isn't measured by how much we have in common, but by how deeply we're willing to listen, learn, and engage with each other's differences. True connection happens when we embrace, not erase, the spaces between us. It's important to clarify something here. Stoicism doesn't ask us to fake interest or suppress our authentic selves. It asks us to recognize the emotional intelligence behind every act of understanding. It invites us to honor the humanity in others by genuinely caring, not about the subject itself, but about the person sharing it. That's the kind of emotional leadership Stoicism promotes. Not detachment, not indifference, but awareness, discernment, the courage to be open without needing to agree, and the grace to respect someone's world without needing to live in it. As we close this chapter, we encourage you. Don't shy away from someone just because they don't share your playlist, your pastimes, or your path. Seek the thread beneath the hobby. Search for the person behind the passion. When you do, you'll discover friendships that go beyond surface-level bonding. You'll build bridges that withstand the tests of time. So if this message resonated with you, if you found yourself in these reflections, leave a thumbs up. Help us reach more people who, like you, seek not just friendships, but meaningful, resilient connections grounded in ancient wisdom. And if you're new to this journey with us, don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell. We have much more to explore together. Now, we'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us, how do you navigate friendships with people who have different interests? Are you someone who thrives in variety, or do you find comfort in common ground? Whether you're an introvert finding solace in quiet understanding, or an extrovert energizing rooms with your spirit, your story matters here. Not sure what to write? That's okay. Just share a little piece of who you are. Are you more of an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert? Even that small note connects you with others in this growing community of reflective souls. Thank you for walking with us through this conversation. As always, your presence here is appreciated more than you know. Until we meet again in the next chapter of our Stoic journey, choose a video on the screen to continue diving deeper into the timeless teachings that help us thrive in the modern world. Stay Stoic, and above all, stay open to the beauty of meaningful connection.